Oh man, I don't even know what to say. Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin, and this is my spoiler-free review for The Fate of the Furious. It's gonna be a challenge to do this one spoiler-free, but we can do this. Let's get into it right now, starting with those positives. The thing about this franchise, especially starting with the fifth one onward, it has established this pattern of everybody on planet Earth is actually from Krypton, and under the power of the yellow sun, they are capable of tremendous signs and wonders, and nothing can hurt them unless the script says so. But beyond that, absolutely nothing can hurt them. So when you get into this one, so you have the fifth one that established that. Then you have the sixth one that tests the limits of that. Then you have the seventh one that takes the limits of that, tests it even further. Then you have this one that takes all the limits that we have and puts them even further to the test. But the thing this franchise has done the best doing from the fifth one onward is building that into you that, this just isn't real. I mean, when the car hits the ground and it rolls at 200 miles per hour and Dom just jumps up and hits hard concrete as hard as he possibly can and rolls, of course he doesn't have road rash or losing a whole sleeve of skin. I mean, that's real life. This is Fast and the Furious life. If you have truly enjoyed that, with movies 5, 6, and 7. The action being beyond ridiculous, being beyond realistic. If that's something that you really enjoy, then yes, you're going to really enjoy that in this as well. And one of the things it does really well with all of that is the action is incredibly fun. But not only is it incredibly fun, it's good looking. They did a great job setting up the shots and the camera. I feel like Michael Bay in his Transformer movies could learn a lesson or two from this, because, you know, when the action happens, the camera doesn't shake like crazy, so, like, you can see it. I mean, it's, so, like, things like that they're nice. It's a clean-looking movie. It looks really good. So when you're looking at it physically like that, it's great. Then you have the three best characters in this movie: Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Tyrese, and Jason Statham. All three of those characters were fantastic. I think it's pretty obvious that the trailer is leaning towards the fact that this time Jason Statham, in a sense, will be part of the family because he now actually has to work with them, which does happen in this movie. And I thought they did a good job bringing Jason Statham into it. And when Jason Statham and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson are together in the team and they have to work together, their chemistry is absolutely fantastic. They became my two favorite characters when I saw them together for the short time that they were together. I really did enjoy that. And of course, Tyrese, he is the comedic relief. He is just, I just think he's hilarious. I loved his one-liners. I loved The Rock's one-liners. There's a lot of good one-liners in this movie. And when the action gets really insane, it's one of those places where you need Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He brings some sanity to the insanity because he's just so fun to watch. His character is just so great. So, like, you know, yeah, of course Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson can fight three people who are armored up in riot gear. He's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So when that happens, you're like, yeah, that's happening. And so, you know, things like that are just really fun. And so, in terms of all of that, I had a lot of fun with it. Now, let's jump into the negatives. I think my biggest problem with this movie, like when you're watching the trailer, you know something weird has gone down because Dom is with Charlize Theron. She's bad. He's turned against his family. We know Dom. He doesn't do this. So, like, what on earth could compel him to be over there? And the plot point that they used, I spent a good chunk of the movie trying to work it out in my brain. How could this plot point exist? Because this is going to be really hard to do without doing spoilers. But basically, it just kind of exposed this timeline issue where it's just like, well, how much time was there between movies 5 and 6? Like, when movie 5 ended and movie 6 began, I guess it wasn't even a full year. I guess there was only a few months. So maybe that makes a little sense. And then between movies 6 and 7, there couldn't have been that much time that passed. But there was no indicator in number 7 that would even begin to build toward this plot point in number 8, which still leaves me scratching my head going, there's no clue to this whatsoever, and it just made it feel like the writers were like, well, what can we do here? Let's do that. Let's make that happen because that's the only thing that can make Dom be over here. Yeah, we'll do that. Does it make sense? Somebody will figure it out in a fan theory somewhere. Let's just write it and let's move on. I mean, it just kind of felt like it was a convenient plot point. They're like, you know what, let's just throw that in there. We'll do that. We'll try to wrap it up in a nice twist. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like terrible, but at the same time, I struggle. I'm still trying to work it out in my brain. I mean, for us, it's years between movies. I guess for them, it's a lot shorter time between movies. So I don't know. My mind is still racing to try to figure that out. And then like Charlize Theron, like there were some scenes where I felt like, yeah, she's on it. She's kind of sinister. And there were other scenes where it's like, they must have filmed this before she had her cup of coffee. She doesn't seem as into this. I think in the end, I'm going to give this movie a C+. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to stick with C+, because I saw it and I enjoyed it. I had fun with it where there was fun to be had, but overall, of the new ones of 5, 6, and 7, this one to me was nowhere near as good as 5, 6, or 7, and definitely was not as good as number 5. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So what did you think if you saw it? Make sure to let me know in the comments. While you're there, hit the subscribe button to become a Durbanian. Next to the subscribe button is the bell. Click the bell. You'll be notified the moment I drop new videos. New videos like Cody and me continuing our reviews of the Alien franchise. Tuesday, Alien 3 on my channel, Alien Resurrection on his channel, and then, you know, Wednesday continuing my series on my top 5 favorite TV shows of all time. So lots of good stuff ahead. Hit that subscribe button. I'm Durbin. Thank you for checking out Durbania.